Hello and welcome to What is Academic Integrity video. My name is Mahdi Rahimian and this video was developed by the Office of Academic Integrity at Mohawk College. By the end of this video, the learner is expected to be able to name the fundamental values of academic integrity, define each value of academic integrity, be able to identify a function for each value of academic integrity. But what is academic integrity? According to International Center for Academic Integrity, academic integrity is an adherence to the 6 fundamental values of honesty, trust, fairness, respect, responsibility, and courage. But first, honesty. Students and faculty need to be honest with themselves and with each other. As they learn, they need to constantly be honest about their learning and about their mistakes in learning. Here is an example. John is writing a paper for one of his courses. After doing his research and going through multiple drafts, his final version is almost ready. He does a final reading to catch any last-minute mistakes. He realizes he has made a mistake and his conclusions are not aligned with his arguments throughout the paper. What should he do? Remember, the answer to this example question is related to honesty. Here are some possible answers. He can review the paper and rewrite the conclusions to be aligned with the body of his text. He can talk to his professor if possible and ask for an extension to continue working on the paper. If there is time and it is possible, he can contact different resources such as Learning Support Center and college libraries to get help improving his paper. By following these example answers, he can adhere to the principle of honesty and be honest in his academic production. Next value of academic integrity is trust. When the faculty states clear objectives for lessons and clear guidelines for the assignments, and when the students produce honest, thoughtful, and genuine academic work, trust is promoted. Let's look at an example. Sarah is under a lot of stress as she has an assignment due next week, and she has done nothing for it. What should she do? So, remember, Sarah wants to produce honest, thoughtful, and genuine academic work to promote trust. Here are some possible answers. She can look at the assignment guidelines, develop a plan to do the assignment, and start working on it little by little to finish it in time. If Sarah needs help, she can ask the services available to her, such as the Learning Support Center, her Student Success Advisor, college libraries, etc. She can email and talk to her professor about it if the professor has stated email as a means of communication. Next value of academic integrity is fairness. Fairness includes predictability, transparency, and clear, reasonable expectations. For students, they need to think about being fair in their academic endeavors so the academic advantages they gain are fair. Faculty and staff need to treat the students and each other fairly. Here is an example. Helen goes to the exam room at a computer lab and notices that her professor has not logged out of a computer. The exam questions are there as she can see the front cover page of the exam. There is no one in the room. However, Helen decides not to look at the exam questions and logs out of the computer. Why did Helen do that? Here are two possible answers. Helen wanted to be fair to other students with respect to having access to the exam questions. Helen wanted to pass her exam with her own knowledge. So the advantages he would gain as a result of passing that exam would be fair. Next value of academic integrity is respect. Being respectful of other people's opinions as well as our own opinion is an integral component of academic integrity. Respect leads to diversification of ideas where there is a possibility for the best ideas to emerge and grow. Taking other people's ideas seriously and respectfully and providing honest and respectful feedback when needed increases respect in academia. Proper citation of other resources shows respect to the contributors of those resources. Let's look at an example. Anna is taking a communications course at Mohawk College. She's thinking about being respectful in her academic work in this course. Can you recommend some suggestions for her? Here are some possible suggestions. When she reads academic resources, she writes down their reference and writes her notes under the reference. So later, when she needs to use those information, she knows and remembers to cite them properly. She shares her ideas about different topics at group works while being listening to peers' ideas politely. She understands that her ideas may be different from those of her professors or peers. She recognizes that having differing ideas while being respectful is good for learning and developing new ideas. Next value of academic integrity is responsibility. Being responsible means standing up against wrongdoing, resisting negative peer pressure, and serving as a positive example. Here is an example. Allison is enrolled at Mohawk College. It is the day before a midterm exam and her friend Betty calls her and wants to see her. They meet at a coffee shop and Allison learns that Betty has not been able to study for the exam. Betty says that a little help during the exam can help her pass the exam. What should Allison do? Remember that Allison wants to take responsibility and uphold that value as a fundamental value of academic integrity. Here are some possible answers. For in-class exams, if Allison has studied well, she can offer to help Betty to study together that evening. Allison can explain the key and challenging concepts to Betty. This will help both of them understand the course material better. Allison needs to be clear with Betty that she cannot help her cheat during exam. Last value of academic integrity is courage. Courage is defined as the capacity to act in accordance with one's values despite fear. So acting upon values of academic integrity takes courage. Let's look at a question. Tina is an international student at Mohawk College. This is her first term away from home and in Canada. She has challenges adjusting to the culture, to the academic world, to find a job, etc. Tina still decides to continue her efforts in adhering to academic integrity values in her studies. What is the first fundamental value of academic integrity she is adhering to? While there are lots of values that could contribute to Tina's decision, courage is the first fundamental value of academic integrity that she decides to adhere to. The reference used for developing this presentation was the Fundamental Values of Academic Integrity document developed by International Center for Academic Integrity. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful time.